phones with you, we ask that you have them turned off so we don't get interrupted with something in the middle. And we can do a roll call.
Henry Hale.
Yes.
Roger Black.
Here.
Marianne Alexandro.
Here.
Melanie Marr.
Here.
David Duquette.
Here.
Steve Imhoff.
Here.
Brett Baker.
Here.
Dean Schneller.
Here. And can we have a motion that the meeting was advertised as required?
Make a motion?
Second. And roll call vote on that?
Henry Hale.
Yes.
Roger Black.
Yes.
Marianne Alexandro.
Yes.
Melanie Marr.
Yes.
David Duquette.
Yes. And can we have a motion to approve the minutes from last month's meeting and waive the reading of those minutes?
I'll second.
And roll call vote on that?
Henry Hale.
Yes.
Roger Black.
Yes.
Marianne Alexandro.
Yes.
Melanie Marr.
Yes.
David Duquette.
Yes. And then we can go on to old business with Mr. Steve.
We have 2 minutes and we're going to talk really slow. Make sure we're on our 6 o'clock time frame.
Okay, that works for me.
So, thank you for coming out on this snowy day. Appreciate it. We're going to go to, I'm not going to say your name wrong for the third time.
It's
in a
Libby.
row. How do you,
I'm ready.
come on up in front. How would you like to pronounce your name one thing?
Kagier.
Kagener?
Yeah.
We weren't. So, appeal number 2356, Taylor Rental at 5 Latour Avenue. They're asking for an area variance. They were here 2 months ago?
Yeah.
2 months ago, asking for a request to be allowed to add additional signage to the building from one face of the building to make a total of 2 signs, 26, and another one was previously asked for on the side of the building when only one front-facing sign is allowed. In an SC district, we had a new submission with the new Kawasaki emblem to the left of there. Brett and Alan have pictures that they went out and took, and the new submitted stuff that we can go over and show you guys.
So you'll see 5 Latour Ave right here on this large parcel. This is the interstate. This would be the Cumberland Head off-ramp. Cumberland Head Corners is over here. You can see that it's fully located within the SC service district. There's another aerial view where you can see the lot out back. This would be the face that they're proposing the signage on. That's the existing sign that already is on the building. This is our rendering where they had proposed 2 signs before. And we have another rendering that's now down to 2 signs from the previous 3 signs. And that's what we have for you, Libby. It's all yours.
So, hello. Thank you so much for allowing me to come tonight. I really appreciate it. So previously, like you said, I had asked for 2 additional signs, one on either side. We totally understand that that's, outside of what you guys will allow. So I'm back today to ask for 1 additional sign. The Kawasaki sign is 4 by 6.5 feet, still well within what would have been allowed if we had 1 sign.
Your total square footage for that.
Exactly, yeah. And I really have all the same, pretty much the same argument that I had last time. So for time's sake, I'll be as brief as possible, but ask me as many questions as you need. It really doesn't. The location of where our business is here, there's no through traffic. There's no businesses directly facing the building where the signs are. There's nothing across the street. The other businesses in the plaza are don't face us. We're all in one plaza. So it really doesn't, in my opinion, doesn't make a huge impact on the characteristics of the neighborhood. The sign is in the same exact style as the sign that we, our main logo sign in the middle. This is a sign that we purchased directly from Kawasaki. We did talk about alternative locations. The sign does not fit inside. I would have loved to put it directly underneath in the window, like above the double doors, but it does not fit there. We also talked about possibly doing it on the other side. We would be allowed to have a sign on the other side of the buildings. We're on the end. But that side of the building, yes, thank you right there. That side of the building isn't available for like traffic at all. Yeah. Only people who are dropping off pieces of equipment for service even have access to that side of the building. There is the north way, but it's so far away, and really, I don't even really want to be distracting people with a sign on that side of the building, if I'm being honest. It's not a huge sign. You know, environmental and community impact. It really, in my opinion, won't have any adverse impact. The light is not going to be impacting any of our neighbors. Self-created difficulty, yes. You know, this is something that we are asking for. This is something that Kawasaki is asking of us, actually. If it wasn't for them asking me for this, I would not be here asking you for this. So, does anyone have any questions?
The main thing is that having the two signs on this side of the building, you're basically giving up the one side. You would be required. You could have one facing the north way. You don't want one facing north way. And so you're giving up the ability of having one over there and putting it on this side of the building.
Yes.
Correct, yes.
Yeah.
Open up the public hearing portion of the meeting. Anybody here like to speak to this matter? And I believe we have something from the county we should read in. Local issue in favor of it.
It went down a second time.
Oh,
because
it
they
did?
changed
Okay.
it. Yep.
February 5th, you are correct.
Usually are.
Clinton County Planning Board decision on 239M referral, here appeal number 2356. The following action was taken by the Clinton County Planning Board regarding the zoning referral in compliance with New York State General Municipal Law, Article 12B, Section 239. This decision is not binding upon local municipalities, may impact the local board's voting requirements to act contrary to the county's decision. A county decision or disapproval or approval for the modifications may only be overturned the local municipality board by a majority plus one vote, full membership of the local board. Exceeding 4 votes, 5-member boards, 5 to this. I'm just saying that in conjunction with this was a 6-0 in favor of the option. 6-0 in favor of action.
Yes. And I will close the public hearing portion of the meeting and go through the balancing test for the area variance for the signage. And a lot of the things that you've already stated, you've really gone through that it will not, to achieve this benefit, needing the sign, so you're giving up the one side of the building to put it onto this side. So that's how you achieve that. Undesirable change in the neighborhood character, you're off by yourself basically in that corner, so you're not really changing anything. And where the request is substantial, you are actually underneath the total square footage of signage that you could have on that side of the building. And whether the request will have adverse physical or environmental impacts, and I do not see any of that. So the motion would be to grant the variance if we so think so.
I'll make that motion to grant the request.
Second.
Second, and show of hands on that. And then a roll call vote.
Henry Hill,
Yes.
Roger Black,
Yes.
Mary Ann Alexander.
Yes.
Melanie Marr,
Yes.
David Dugai.
Yes. You are all set.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your time.
Have a good night now.
Mr. Schaefer, come on up front and center. The next appeal number is 2361. Richard Schaefer is the owner of 7172 Route 9, asking to request to be allowed to keep an accessory building on the property without a primary structure, which is also allowed in a commercial district. Have a seat.
Pop right up there in front of you.
You are the applicant.
Okay.
Brett has some pictures and stuff that was provided to us. More to review.
So we have 7172 Route 9. Over here, we have Riley Ford. This is the storage units. This would be the old Stewarts, and the new Stewarts would be relatively close over here, out on the north end of the town. You can see it's fully within the C commercial district. This is a previous picture of the home here with the red roof at 7172. This portion sustained a structure fire and has since been demolished. This roof line here is what is left, the structure that is left. There is a pitched or a gable face still on the building, but it's essentially the front wall of the garage at this point. So this rectangle here is what has been removed. This is a picture from today. Here's the gable I were referring to, what's left of the garage, And then there's a shed in the background. This is where the home previously sat. I believe Mr. Schaefer may have also just may have submitted something to you from
Yeah.
one of his neighbors.
We'll read it into the record when you leave.
It's all yours, Mr. Schaefer.
I just want to keep my garage. Our garage is full of belongings, some that burn, some that haven't burned, and we don't have space for it. We do have space in there. So I know it looks a mess now, but spring comes around, I will cut that gable end off and seal it up properly. I've already bought paint for it to paint it up and make it look proper like. But you know, these negative digits and single digits don't agree with paint or my body right now. I'm 61 years old, but I will get it taken care of, cleaned up,
We also have siding for the spot where the end is coming off.
and made to look proper like. But we've got so much stuff in there right now, and I mean, it was attached to the house. All you had to do was, through the kitchen, it had access there, and it does have a back door
That's
on
on
the
the
back
back
side
door,
of the shop back there.
And you don't want to rebuild, or
No, sir. No, sir.
you don't want to merge it in with your other property?
Not right now. We may do that, but you see the Volkswagen bus, it's going with us when we leave. We will be moving, but not right away. And I have a BMW in the front yard. I've already been dinged about the cars we were in the process of selling, which we did sell and got rid of. I don't want any more problems with, if we merge property, the one property, I'll have 2 unregistered vehicles on there. And the BMW we lost the key in the fire, and BMW's over-engineered crap, because I don't have the key. The vehicle is sat there for 2 years because it won't start. The vehicle needs to be taken to the shop. The key needs to be programmed with the car, and it's a big ordeal. It costs about $800, and I will get that taken care of. I got the demolish, when I demoed it, I got that insurance claim from them, so the BMW will get taken care of here shortly, but it's just a matter of time and getting everything lined up.
I will start the public hearing portion of the meeting. Anybody here like to speak to this matter? And I don't see anybody. I can read into the record. This is from Kenneth Rousseau. He is appeal number 2361, Town of Plattsburgh. He owns the property at 7166 and 7170 on Route 9, which shares the property line with 7172 Route 9. I have no objections to the accessory building remaining on the property, even though the house has been removed from the site. And that's Ken Rousseau. And you give that to,
He owns that big apartment building there.
right,
That's what he just gave me.
Oh,
that's what I was doing. And this also went down to the Clinton County Planning Board.
County Planning Board, and the decision for a 239 M referral number 1326 was 6-0 in favor of the action.
Is that good or bad?
They leave it up to us.
I asked Mr. Imhoff if I could keep it. He said yes, as long as I had an engineer come look at it. I paid an engineer to come out and look at it and say that it was structurally sound because it wasn't touched by the fire. And then I got a notice in the mail saying I can't keep it. I would, you know, I asked, you know, I had a man come out and look at it and everything.
So you've had it appraised as being a sound structure.
The engineer came out and looked at it. Yes, sir. He sent me all an email.
Okay, all right. Board members have any questions that they'd like to go through? No. All right, so the main problem with this is somewhat setting a precedent because not having a primary structure on there opens us up to say to other applicants down the road, someplace along the line, that you gave it to him, why don't you give it to us?
But there was an initial structure there.
That's, and there are extenuating circumstances as far as I would look at it, saying that
Yes, sir.
there was a house there, it was attached. And I almost would probably feel more at ease with granting a variance if there were some type of limitation as far as how long is it going to stay that way, or is it going to be used that way?
Well, if we move, if that's gonna be a, issue here, I mean, I'll have it removed when we leave, when we sell them, or they can do it themselves, or I'll do it. I'll have it
And
removed,
I'm
if that's
gonna
gonna be an
have to
issue.
Look at our,
So the intent of a use variance is to grant the least positional request that's been granted. That said, use variances run with the land, and as sitting here today, I'm not aware of a temporally limited use variance. If this were to be approved, essentially, then an accessory structure, standalone accessory structure would be appropriate for forever, it's tied to the property.
even if we put a condition on it saying that 2 years is,
Without, as sitting here today, I have not researched that, so my general understanding is use variances run with the land.
well, that's the way I always thought it.
Yeah, and
And
that's why they're very
I too.
difficult to grant, and that's why there's those, the test to determine whether or not we're going to allow that, that to continue.
Right.
So absent having time to research this more to see if there is a kind of a temporary use variance, which I've never heard, so I'm very doubtful that it does exist. So, but I can't sit here and say it doesn't because I haven't researched it.
Well, I mean, we've put conditions on other people's uses as far as time of day, what type of work they're gonna do there, how many vehicles they'll have, and
Sure, that's the actual use though, but not the limitation on the length of the variance. The variance is run with the land.
And we've done this in the past where something was granted 2 years and it was extended and people never built, never did anything, they had to tear it down. Was that in Katyville on Route 3? There's something on Route 3.
Route 3, but the people actually did finally build there, they put a mobile home or a modular home, and
Yeah, I think this was some kind of outbuilding or something they had it there, and then they asked for the variance. And so we're
Well,
gonna
they-
build our house, but it was never built.
well, the
And
one
they
that
had
I'm
to-
thinking of, it was actually built. They put a shed on the property to start with because they were going to,
Okay, that was a different one.
Yeah.
I think this was another one where it was already, they built it and it was discovered that it was put there.
yes.
Then when they came for the variance, said, well, we're building a house, we have the plans, great. Never happened, and they take it down. So it's just setting a precedence.
We did another one. We got a new attorney, probably a better attorney. We did the one on Sunnyside Drive. Oh my God,
Oh, yeah.
it's 10, 50, it's some years ago.
15, easy, yeah.
Easy.
You just gotta do this, that, and the other
And
thing.
he ended up tearing it down. We have done too.
He did, well, yeah, and he put a slab there, and that was about it, or something.
He built half the structure and never built, and he's like, it's 5 years, can't afford it, and then tore it down. So unfortunately, we did.
But what's being presented here
Okay.
today is a request for a standalone accessory structure to remain. That's the application. It's not an application to
Put something
put
there.
something else in its place. If it were, I believe it wouldn't even be an issue because it wouldn't be an accessory structure.
But being there prior, I mean, I didn't want this fire, I didn't wanna have to start over at 60 years old and store all my stuff in there either.
Right,
And
but I think the thing is that they're talking about like building again, and we're not on that property.
I
It's
don't
just
plan, I know,
a
but they're
request for
saying also that
storage.
if we don't have another building there, we can't keep the garage that we're using for storage right now. I'm disabled, I live on a fixed income, she works, I live on a fixed income, we make the bills, we don't live a lavish lifestyle, we're keeping our head above the water. I really don't wanna have to go rent 3 storage units, 4 units to put all my belongings in it, what's left?
No, we understand where you're coming from, for sure. All right, I guess I'll close the public hearing portion of the meeting if I didn't do that already. Okay? She has to keep track of me. it's a tough job, somebody's gotta do it. The first one on this basis, for the use variance, is basically doesn't 100% apply because it cannot realize a reasonable return substantiated by financial evidence. The main thing is that, like you were just saying, if you had to go out and get a storage unit or two or whatever, you're probably looking at a couple $100 a month or something
Correct.
of that nature. So, alleged hardship is unique and does not apply to a substantial portion of the district or neighborhood. It is unique in the fact that there was a primary structure there to start with, and because of the fire, that's the reason that it isn't there anymore. And the requested variance will not alter the essential character of the neighborhood. It's a garage, and you will be fixing it up in the springtime. And the alleged hardship has not been self-created, and the hardship is not self-created because that was a fire situation. So that is where we're sitting right now.
Henry,
Yes,
can I make a remark?
yes.
We had a guy come in who had a house and a garage, and he had a separate property with a garage, and we denied him, told him he had to merge those properties. Remember, he wanted to store his toys in a garage on a separate property. And he did not want to merge the properties, and it was denied. You recall that one, Steve?
Archieberto Road, second house on the right.
We're not storing toys. I wish we could afford to store
Well, the
toys.
fact is, he wanted to use it for storage,
Same exact project.
same exact, and it was denied, because we told him, we can't set a precedence. The easy way out, the least thing to do, merge the properties, the variance goes away.
They're not, I own one, he owns the other, so it's not necessarily a situation that we can just go in and just say, oh, cool, we'll just merge them. It's not
So
gonna be
there's
that
two
easy.
different owners.
Yeah, I own
The house is her
7174,
name.
he owned 7172, we lived together at 7172. But the second house, the second property is in my name, it's under my mortgage. It's not a matter, I can't go in there and merge them, they're not under the same anything, they're not the same owners. What we want basically is to keep that garage so that we can put personal belongings into it.
It's full.
It's structurally sound, it's just gotta have some, like, cosmetic work done in the spring. But it's on 7174, it's not a matter of merging properties, he doesn't own two.
I own 2. You own 4.
No, two properties,
Okay.
7172.
That's where we're standing. So the merging would be out of the question at this point in time, just because there are two separate owners to each. And that would be all kinds of, I don't know exactly what would need to happen to have those two properties merged with
Yeah.
two
and that's
different
the thing, I
mortgages
mean,
and whatever. I'm not gonna get into that, so it'd be up to, some board members to think that this would be a good thing and have it go, or say it's not a good thing.
Person buy the other one?
I suppose eventually, but
Sell it for
Then-
$1.
then when we merge, we're gonna have to issue with the vehicles. We may
no,
merge
I don't
down
care about the
the
business
road.
issue. There's only two.
We may merge down the road, but at this particular time, you know, we haven't even looked into that.
I guess the third option is to table it and see if we could get a little investigation going, if there could be a time limit put onto it, so that it would not be continuous with the land.
When was the fire?
2 years ago.
2 years ago?
So you can either say for us to vote on it right now, or you can say that you want to table it to see if there could be a variance that has a time limit to it, so you don't.
I'd like a time limit, you know,
Yeah.
if, you know.
Well, like I said in the past, that we've given conditions to variances to say certain number of cars, certain type of work, certain hours of operation. But this is something saying it's a time limit on the actual variance, because variances of a use nature usually go with the land. So anybody else you leave, that variance still stays with that land, that they could have a structure on there without any primary building with it. That's where our problem is. That's why I'm saying if we could put a time limit on it, we would be getting a guarantee that it ends with you guys.
Well,
And that would require what, like you guys tabling it, as you called it, to,
Table it and let the legal
well,
grades.
if we can get a variance until we move, then the variance goes away then.
No, it doesn't, it stays with the land.
with the land's not that.
Well, you were just saying a time limit, so I thought you'd
no,
be
it's
telling
on-
me that the variance ends when we set this time limit.
Well, if that's a legal option,
Okay,
and that's why I would say we'd have to table it to see
okay.
if that would actually be legal to do.
Well, if we can table it, then that sounds all right by me.
Just
Now,
for a quick point of order, it's difficult to research things in the abstract, so I would think it would be helpful to have an actual request from the applicant as to how much time they're looking for. A 6 month, a 1 year, a 10 year, a 50 year, so that there's some kind of structure associated with this research.
well, we would like no more than 2 years. Because my mother turns 82 this year, and we plan on moving down to South Carolina. That way, if I gotta go help my mom, it's only an 8-hour drive versus a 24-hour drive. So we planned on being out here this year, but we had a fire, so things kind of a wrench got thrown into the mix here. But,
I mean, 2 is max.
we planned on being out of here this, like I say, the end of the summer, but it's not happening because of things that have happened.
Right.
So if we could have 2 years, that would be fantastic.
Well, what we will do then is say that we're going to table this matter to let our attorney do some research on it and see if we can do
Okay.
a time limitation on the actual variance.
Okay.
Somebody want to make that motion so we can have it approve their tabling?
I'm not going to.
They're not going to.
No. I'm not, in other words, I don't believe in waiting 2 years for letting this go for 2 years. I can't. So you're tabling it for 2 years?
No,
No,
we're
Oh,
tabling it for 1 month
oh, okay,
to do the research to see if we
Okay.
can actually
okay.
table it for 2
Okay.
years. It's not, or to have a time
Yeah.
limitation
Mhm.
on the variance.
Okay,
That's what we're looking at. Nothing more than that. And if it can't be done, then it could come back and say it's gonna be denied or whichever. But it's just to say,
I'll make a motion to table it.
okay, do we have a
Table
second?
it for
30 days.
how long?
Till the next
Just
month,
To
so
March,
you can have
March
some
meeting?
time.
March meeting?
Is that adequate time to research?
Yes.
All right, and second on that, somebody?
Good try.
Good try. So I guess we can't do that. Okay,
So we call the question at this point? You can call the question if you want to have a motion to approve or deny, however you want to frame the actual motion, but it seems like that's
Yeah.
appropriate at this point.
that would be it, to say then, we would not let them table it to do any research.
Why don't you want to table it?
Well, I'm just against the action, the variance.
Okay.
I think it opens us up to all sorts of questionable things. I understand you. I know, you can
calling on the attorney, delay it 30 days and call on the attorney to research it. We've never done that, and I don't know why we would start.
Well, what if it were your house and you lost all your shit when you actually literally sifting through the ashes with your hands, what we've been through? I'm just asking for 30 days to research it even.
Well, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
no, they're set in their ways, so. Then the other option is to say that somebody would make a motion to either approve the request or deny the variance.
I'll make a motion to deny.
Okay, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, show of hands on that. You got three then? And roll call vote?
Henry Hill,
No.
Roger Black,
Yes.
Mary Ann Alexandra.
Yes.
Melanie Marr,
No.
David Duquette.
Yes.
All right. It has been denied, the variance.
Okay, so, what now? So that has to come down?
Yes.
And then what time period?
Typically, we give 30 days to start. Once you pull the permit, then the permit starts. For the
Yeah.
demolition.
Yeah, okay.
So you'd have 30 days to start.
Alright. Have a good day.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
So the next appeal is going to be Trevor Cole representing Clinton County as the owners and Town of Plattsburgh Town Board as the applicant. And it's going to be only, and if you guys are the last ones here, I'm going to try to explain this as best I can. And we have an attorney here, if you guys are here for this. Out of the three variances, we're only going forward tonight with one variance, and it's going to be appeal number 2363, an area variance request to be allowed. Yes, I'm sorry. Request to be allowed to subdivide a 3-acre parcel with no frontage on a town road, which is a 280A variance. When there needs to be in that district, there needs to be 125 feet of road frontage is required in an MDR district. The other two variances will not be acted on going forward. Mr. Cole, if you'd like to come up. In the meantime, Brett is going to go over the subdivision application, the pictures that were submitted, and rendering that I think we also have of the said salt shed.
So we have Route 22B and Route 3, the wide road right here by the Mobile and Stewart's. This is the old Clinton County Airport. This is the fairgrounds. The parcel that's being referred to right here is on the corner of the Fairground Road, right behind the row of homes. You can see that it's all within the MDR district. Over here we have the armory. This is the proposed area where the salt shed, we would like to put the salt shed. This is a picture of today. The homes along 22B are here. This is where the proposed area is. We have a plot plan with the actual parcel and where the shed would be. And then there's a rendering of how the exterior of the structure would look. Mr. Cole, you're up. Which picture would you like?
That's fine, I think. I got voted to be the messenger on behalf of the highway department and the town board. They're not here, so it's me. By way of a little background, starting about 2 years ago, the town water and wastewater department and the planning department, under a grant from the New York State Health Department, we did a drinking water quality improvement plan. It studied where our aquifers were, took into account our wells, did a full assessment of potential contaminant sources in the town, everything from gas stations, buried storage tanks, dumps, municipal services like salt storage. And the plan identified, those sources where they should and shouldn't be. And it kind of set up some protocols for the future. Simultaneously, we had applied to the New York State DEC for a water quality improvement plan grant to cover our road salt, which is a known contaminant, and we've wanted to have that covered for years, but we finally got the grant to do it and wanted to move forward. The third study that was completed was by Hansen Van Vliet, which took the aquifer information and then did an assessment of parcels in the town that might be ideal to actually locate our salt storage, because it was identified here at Town Hall as not a good location because of proximity to our wells, which are just off of Route 3. So two locations were identified. One was Jennings Road in Katyville, but that's very far away from the center of town and not very efficient and it's also the site of a former landfill. So there's issues with disturbing that out there. Former town landfill that was closed in the 80s, I think. This other location is Clinton County Fairgrounds. It's owned by another local government. It's outside of the aquifers. And all of this area is served by public water, public sewer. So, low risk to any type of issue with that. Plus, it's going to be covered. The issue with this property from the zoning standpoint is that Fairgrounds Road is not a public road. It's used by the public a lot, thousands of trips a year, but it's actually part of the county property and not deeded as any public road. It doesn't get any CHIPS money. But to the point of a 280A variance, suitability and access. Suitability, I think you received a letter from the highway superintendent who currently plows it and maintains it in agreement with the Clinton County Fairgrounds Association. The access point from a legal standpoint, the county has authorized us to proceed with the subdivision. The planning board approved the sketch plan for the subdivision at their meeting last month, allowing them to move forward with the detailed plat that could be filed. As part of that subdivision, the town will get a formal easement, just like the Armory has, because the Armory is primary access. So in their deed, they have an easement over Fairgrounds Road. The town would get a formal easement over Fairgrounds Road, basically checking those two boxes of access and suitability. I'm going to take any questions.
How tall is that building gonna be?
It's not, the height above grade isn't set perfectly yet because we haven't figured out the exact grade that the site will be, but it could be 42 feet. It could be a little lower depending if the grade is brought down in there, but
Okay.
I think that's, at this moment, 42, 43 feet.
So you're driving down 20 feet, you're gonna be able to see that.
I think you'll be able to see it. I mean, no reason trying to shy away from that. It's a tented storage building. It'll look like the one out back, pretty much. Yeah, it really falls into that. I mean, the town views it kind of in the category of a water tower. It's infrastructure that you're just not going to hide. It's got a public utility service to it that we might not love. We might not think that they're the prettiest things in the world, but
it's a necessity.
In this case, it's about kind of water quality, protecting our drinking water, and
exactly.
But I wouldn't try to tell you that they're the prettiest things in the world. They just happen to be necessary.
We're going to open up the public hearing portion of the meeting. Anybody here like to speak to this matter? They can come up to the microphone and say your piece.
I just have some questions.
Okay.
My wife sent me and she wanted to know about this. She doesn't like the idea of one going in right there.
Can you state your name, sir? Sorry.
Oh, James Krause.
Okay.
Crouse. So she's wondering how much it's going to cost, who's paying for it, and why you need another salt facility here, storage facility.
I can answer a portion that they did a study saying that where this salt storage is right now, it has the possibility of contaminating some of their wells. So they're trying to get rid of this storage to put it into a spot that will not affect the aquifer for the whole area. And I know they were talking about they had caulked or glazed wellheads that could have leakage around them and the salt penetrating, and then there'd be all kinds of remedial problems with chlorine in the water, or if they had to actually be a massive undertaking to have to drill new wells. So this is a location that is protecting the whole entire community from that happening.
Yeah, I know earlier when the airport was there, they had their salt storage. They stored salt right in the airport there. It wasn't too far away either.
Yeah, so the main goal of this is really to have a covered facility so you eliminate the risk of contamination. That's the main goal of covering it, and allows us to use far less material overall. But, the grant that is funding this was about 260 some thousand. The cost of the tent itself is, I think 310. So, yes, the town has, budgeted to help build the facility, but the largest portion of it's paid for through that grant that we got through the DEC Water Quality Improvement Program, about 265,000, I think. And then the property is going to be leased from Clinton County.
Some of your other waste questions is why is it there? Centrally located for our highway guys to save more money on diesel. So if it's there, but if it's all up in Katyville and you got to go to
Yeah, I
Cumberland
caught
Head,
that when you were talking
so-
about that.
yeah, when they
It
put
does
it,
look like a good spot for it.
and yet you're on town water over there, so even though this is concrete structure with everything, with, as Trevor said, with the top over it, where Ellingberg, Danamore ran into, there was an aquifer that got into wells. Here it's on town water, sewer in some spots, so you try to mitigate their losses and try to save the town taxpayers money by being centrally located and not all the way to the end because of diesel costs. With the potential of then having a joint venture with the county. As of right now, they're not, correct me if I'm wrong, Trevor, and the application, it does not say the county is going to store salt there
They don't want to
as
use
of right
it.
now. So if, in the future, if it got approved, it's on county property, but we're leasing it back to them, then they could potentially use our salt shed, saving even more county taxpayer dollars by diesel not on the road, basically.
If I were a neighbor, what I would want to know if I were you, so I'll just jump right to it, is, the town does intend to do trees planted around and is considering even a hard fence on the side abutting the residences, if that's something that the neighbors are interested in. And it's not intended to be lit, so there won't be lights on poles. There may be one on the interior, and it'll also have chain link fence around the facility to keep people out. And peak usage, so we only use salt not even half the year, so most of the time there should be nothing happening there. And in the winter, peak, because when we use pure salt, it uses so much less that at peak, major storm, the highway department thinks maybe they'd have 5 trucks in there a day. And that's just peak during the storm, because on a storm like today that's 4 inches overnight, that they might actually fill 3 trucks, and that'll do all their routes for the whole night, because pure salt they only do that on certain routes in the town. Other ones they do sand. So this is a very kind of isolated type use facility for us, where it's a set number of runs in the town and pretty limited amount. That's what's proposed now. If something changes, they'd have to come back before either this board or the planning board, or you'd get more letters in the mail. But right now it's, winter storage of salt.
Yeah, my wife didn't really say why she didn't like it. I don't know if she thinks she's going to see it from there, or if it's the salt she was worried about contaminating, or cost, things like that.
Mhm.
But because we live just over in 5 Luston Ave, just the other side. But
I think
If she
you'll
wanted
see
to
it
come in
from
and look
22.
at it too. If she wants to come in tomorrow, look at it, do the whole thing. If she has any questions, email.
Mhm.
We're open. We're not trying to hide anything.
why by having it 6 o'clock at night on a snowy night?
We do not control Mother Nature.
Yeah, I know it's practical. I don't really have an issue with it, but my wife didn't.
Okay.
She didn't like it there. Son doesn't either. But yeah,
All right, thank you.
thank you. So when you're going to vote on this, you're going to.
Well, in a few moments.
So it's on just the road. The only thing they're voting on is the road, because the road going in is not a town road, so it's owned by the fairgrounds. So you have to have adequate road frontage, and it's got to be to a certain standard that ambulances and services can get in there. But we have the biggest trucks on the road, and we maintain the road, so that's what the variance is. It's not for the use. It's there except for the road uses. That's what they're going to be voting on from 22 into there is what the actual vote is for.
Right now, the town board is going to be reviewing the actual site plan, which is odd, the town board is, but it's a public facility. That's on February 19th, and I think they're gonna do a public meeting for that, so you're welcome to come to that. That'd be at 6 o'clock, on February 19th. So, and that's to actually talk about the construction of the building and the site.
Okay, you mentioned coming tomorrow.
Oh, you could come in and meet me at my office.
Yeah,
and
like
chat.
these are open plans. Like if this is open, you can say, hey, Trevor could, or the planning department, and say, hey, can we look at the plans, what you're doing, where you're doing, and how you're doing it.
Okay.
Just make
So I
it,
can let my wife know, see if she can come in.
yeah, just see Trevor.
Yeah, anytime people can, come in, stop by, and ask to look at stuff.
Okay.
And this also went down to the county, I believe?
It did. It is a county, so this is something we don't see very often, and I used to be a county employee, so it did go down to the county for a 239M referral, but it is a county property.
Yeah.
I believe it's all the way in the back of that packet, of the one you're holding.
The subject was subdivide a 3-acre parcel with no frontage on the town road when 125 feet of road frontage is required in a medium-density residential district. It went to the county on April 4th, and it was determined to be local issue in favor of the action.
With the comments, Clinton County Planning Board at its February 2026 voted to consider this referral local issue. The following comments forwarded to the town. The town is encouraged to ensure the new construction of salt storage shed include a liner that will provide additional protection of local groundwater from possible salt leaching from storage facilities. Thomas LeBombard, Chair.
And I will now close the public hearing portion of the meeting. And I don't believe there's a balancing test for this. It'd just be a matter of saying yes to having 280A road frontage on a town road. Somebody want to make that motion?
Sure, I'll make the motion.
And a second? Anybody? Second? Show of hands then. And a roll call vote.
Henry Hale,
Yes.
Roger Black,
Yes.
Marianne Alexandra, Melanie Marr,
Yes.
David Duquette.
Yes.
Did you consider this storage place an anti-ice facility?
Yeah.
Yes.
Ice mitigation.
Anti.
Board members, thank you very much.
Have a good night now.
Thanks, Trevor.
No problem.
I do think people are taking pictures of,
Make a
Motion to
to
close. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Motion to close.
Not that one. Oh, Jesus.
Oh, Brianna needs that.
She worked at that. You don't.